Hi there, I'm Stan the Annuity Man, America's annuity agent, and yes, I am licensed in all 50 states. We're based in Las Vegas, Nevada. We take no risk. Everyone around us does. Glad you're here. We're talking about single premium immediate annuities, the grandfather of all annuities, starting in the Roman times of all places. Annuities, the word annua is what they were using back then. That means payment, the financial archaeologists tell me, and that's where the word annuity comes from. We're going to get into the depths of SPIAs, single premium immediate annuities. Load those questions up. I'll take them one at a time. I will read the questions, then I will answer them in only the way that Stan the Annuity Man can, America's annuity agent. Couple things before we get started. Number one, everyone says, Dad, how do I get these hats? I love this hat. Well, your answer is here. This light blue baby here, and the reason the light blue when I'm choosing that one, I'm from North Carolina, North Kakalaki, as they say. So this is kind of Carolina blue. My apologies to any Duke fans out there. But if you're a client out there watching this and you want one of these, just email us at stan@theannuityman.com. We'll send you one. And the way to get one if you're not a client is to become a client. So that's the first thing. Secondly, I've written a few books. You know, I'm 61 years old, been married for 37 years, have 29 and 27-year-old daughters, which means I don't have a life. So because of that, I eat, breathe, sleep annuities. There's more than one. Written a book called The Annuity Stanifesto that you can get on Amazon, or if you're really nice to us, we'll send you a copy, hard copy. And then you can also download my owner's manuals. Yes, I've written owner's manuals on all product types, indexed annuities, income riders, attached indexed annuities, deferred income annuities, QLACs, MIGAs, and then what we're talking about today, single premium immediate annuities. So you can go to my site at theannuityman.com. You can download those for free, and you can read them. You know, we're in the edutainment business. We're here to educate. We're not sure an annuity is right for you, but we're going to find that out when you schedule a call and we talk to you. Just remember, we're getting ready to start on SPIAs. We're not hammers looking for nails here. You're going to buy the annuities. They're not sold here. We do sell them once you tell us you want to buy. So we're a unique cat in this world of high pressure selling. There is no high pressure. There is no urgency to buy an annuity. The urgency is kind of what you're doing right now, which is understanding what they are. So I'm going to give just a brief history overview on immediate annuities, and then you're going to ask questions, and then I'm going to, as savvily, as they say, answer them, and then we're going to go back and forth. Okay? Immediate annuities, single premium immediate annuities. You already own one. It's called Social Security. It's the best inflation annuity on the planet. Okay? So you already own one. So don't say, oh, I had all annuities, Dan, I hate them. I hate them. The other misconception about single premium immediate annuities, hey, Stan, I'd never buy that because when I die, money goes poof, and I don't want to give the money to the insurance company. That's one of over 40 ways to contractually structure it. What you're talking about and what too many people believe is only the choice is life only, which means when your Learjet hits the mountain, yes, money goes poof, but 99% of our clients choose life with cash refund or life with installment refund or life with a period certain. We will explain that during this wonderful broadcast that my man Zeke the marketing freak, is behind the camera. One of these days we're going to flip it and we're going to show Zeke. He's doing good work. But before we get started, I do want to mention one thing. We do have a member of our team in studio with us today. I'm just going to give the initials that we call her DJ. I am proud. I'm going to tell you right now, I might get emotional. I'm proud to announce that starting in January, the Annuity Man is going to have a Spanish division that speaks Spanish. ¿Qué pasa en your annuity casa, my friends? Okay? We are staffed up, we're ready, we've done the research, and DJ is going to lead this, and we're going to offer contractual guarantees, and the way that we do it to the Spanish-speaking community, we're going to put our arms around them, and we're going to do the right thing just like we do the right thing with everybody. I'm so excited for that. So in January, look for that link that you can schedule a call in Spanish. We'll do the applications in Spanish. I don't speak Spanish. You just heard all I can do. Que pasa en la annuity casa? That's all I've got for you. But I have hired the best to do that. So with that, let's talk about, I said it, these annuities, single premium immediate annuities, were started in the Roman times. They've actually been sold in this country, the United States, for I'd say around 300 years that we can go back and look at. If you go back into like the British side, they were called tontines. And my friend Moshe Milevsky has written some books on that. That's very interesting. The bottom line is these pension type products have been in place. They are not investments. They're transfer of risk, non-correlated assets, meaning they're not attached to the market. You're transferring the risk. The primary pricing mechanism is your life expectancies, or if joint life expectancy if it's single life expectancies if it's joint life. And what does that mean? It's going to pay as long as you are breathing. Okay, it's a transfer risk, so there's no ROI until you die. What's the ROI on that, Stan? I look at my ROI on my funds, my ETS, my Bitcoin, all that. I don't know that, player, until you die. Okay, and death is not a good strategy because you can only use it once. Okay, so single premium immediate annuities can be structured and customized, and you can run quotes at our site 24/7, 365 for free. And we're going to go through one later in the broadcast and walk you through that. But you can check these quotes all day long, and you can check them monthly, whatever. Now, let's talk about the pricing of immediate annuities. The pricing primarily is based on your life expectancy or life expectancies at the time you take the payment. The older you are, the higher the payment. Sound eerily familiar? Social Security, older you are, the higher the payment. Why? Because your life expectancy is projected to be less, which means there's less payments projected to be paid, which means those payments are higher. The reverse is true. The younger you are, the lower the payments, because there's more life expectancy, so there's more payments, so they'll be lower. There's no magic to it. Well, what about interest rates, Dan? What about the Fed? In the annuity world, we glance at the Fed. We like here's the Fed, we just go. Now, banks go. They just look straight at it. Why? Because interest rates played about a 20% pricing role on all of this. So if you're like, well, I'm trying to time the Stan, I'm waiting on the Fed, I'm the Fed, and the Fed, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter, okay? It plays a minor pricing role. Let me tell you another pricing role. Annuity companies have tranches of age ranges, meaning that if you're 60 to 65, I'm just making this up, but they do have tranches. It could be shorter. It could be 60 to 62, 62 to 65, whatever. And they're trying to fill those tranches with customers that buy immediate annuities, because remember, life insurance companies issue annuities, and the reason they have the big buildings, they know when we're going to die. Hello? Like property and casualty don't have big buildings, and they're always changing buildings, and they're small buildings because they don't know when the hurricane's going to hit. So the reason that I point that out is immediate annuities, along with every other annuity type, is a commodity product. There's not one that's better than the other. The quotes last for about 7 to 10 days unless you lock them in. We can do that for you. But think of it like a gallon of milk. It's going to spoil. We got to re-quote it. I had a call the other day. Go, I ran a quote on your site about 2 months ago, Stan. I really liked that quote. Lock that baby in for me. I'm like, player, we can't do that because it's like a gallon of milk. Okay? So the reason I brought up we quote all carriers, some carriers need to fill that tranche with your age range, so they're going to have a high quote, contractual, to attract you. Once they fill that tranche, they're going to lower that quote to not attract you, but someone else is going to want to attract you. For lifetime income, we only look at A plus or better. Hello, A plus or better for lifetime income. You could say A plus or better, you don't need a sweater. Follow me? But the point is, we want them to be able to back up the claim. So we're not bottom fishing. These are real companies, and companies that issue immediate annuities, single premium immediate annuities, they have to have a massive reserve requirement to do that. That's the reason a lot of these companies that are out there slinging index annuities, nothing against them, we sell them with the riders, but a lot of them that just do that and don't offer immediate annuities is they don't have the reserve requirements to do that, or they just choose not to do that. But in most cases, it's because of the reserve requirement. A couple other things let's talk about. Immediate annuities, think of that as ripping the knob off a water faucet. It's an irrevocable contract. That's okay if you understand that. We can structure it so it's going to pay for your life or both lives as long as one of you is breathing. We can also structure what I call a backstop, think of your Little League days, so that if your Learjet hits the mountain, if your Ferrari hits the tree, okay, then 100% of any unused money will go to your beneficiaries. We can set it up like that contractually. All right, so get it out of your head that when you die, money goes poof. If you want it to do that, if you hate your beneficiaries, you want life only and the highest payment, fine. But most people work really hard for their money. They want to make sure that they're going to get paid for life, but whatever's left over when and if they die goes to the beneficiary, and the evil annuity company doesn't keep a penny. All right, so we can structure it that if I accomplish one thing today, is that we can structure it so you get lifetime income and the annuity company's not going to keep the money. Okay, let's see if I missed anything. Let's talk about COLAs and inflation real quick. Then we're going to do questions, and this thing's going to get fun. Stan, I'm worried about inflation. Inflation is really worrying me. So the first thing, you already own the best inflation annuity on the planet called Social Security, because politicians aren't actuaries. They give things away to get votes. So they're always going to raise that because that's a voting block, and they're not going to make the voting block mad. Can we get an amen on that one? Okay, but with single premium immediate annuities, anytime you attach what's called an increase, a cost of living increase, that acronym is COLA, cost of living adjustment is what they call it. It's not COLI, Zeke, it's COLA. Okay, Zeke's like, Stan, no, it's COLA. There used to be something called a CPI increase, which was Consumer Price Index. And you're going, Stan, that sounds good, let's do that. They don't offer them anymore. They, meaning the annuity companies, that's not been around for a long time. But if you wanted to do a cost of living adjustment increase because you want to see things increase, just understand the annuity companies don't give that away. Okay, let's do a visual. If you bought an immediate annuity without a COLA increase, it starts here. If you bought one with a COLA increase, it starts here. They're not giving it away. It sounds good. You just have to run the math to make sure it makes sense for you. And maybe you buy 1 or 2 or 3 immediate annuities and one of them has a COLA. And typically the most popular increase is 3%. Don't hit me with 5 and 6 and 7. Come on, be rational out there. Most carriers are going to quote that 3% COLA. Do we recommend that? Not really, because we think the static payment is better, and then when you need to fill in the gap of your income floor, like just let's say your income floor is $5,000, and 5 years from now, now you need another $400. You got Social Security dividends, you got an annuity, you got a pension, you got rental houses, whatever you have. But you have that $400 gap. What we're going to encourage you to do is at that time you need to fill the gap is you can go on our site and run a reverse engineer quote, meaning that let's solve for the $400 a month and let's find out the best carrier, A+ or better, that's going to require the least amount of money to contractually solve for that $400. Follow me? You can't throw a dart at inflation. And inflation is personal to you. Everyone's income floor is different. But everyone's going to tell you they have the product that has an inflation increase. They're full of crapola, okay? You can I don't know, where's that from, Zeke? Is that Italian? I think it's Italian, crapola. The point is, if it sounds too good to be true, it is every single time. Anytime that you're wanting something additional from an annuity company or annuity contract, and we only sell a contractual guarantees, you own an annuity for what it will do, not what it might do, but anytime you attach that, the annuity company doesn't give it away. There's no philanthropists at annuity companies. They're flat out capitalists. Trust me, I know them. So you just have to put that in the back of your mind. So let's get to questions, Zeke. Zeke, are we ready?
We are ready.
DJ's in the house. Unfortunately, it's not going to be in Spanish this time, but I'm telling you, down the road, it will be. I don't know how I'm going to do that, Zeke. I don't have a good accent, so we'll see. All right, so let's do the questions real quick. I'm going to read them. I'm not going to give the name away because sometimes people have like some Cheerio Joe or something like that. I'm not going to do that. I manage the majority of my portfolio through Fidelity due to the breadth of their offerings in education. Love Fidelity, love Vanguard, love Schwab, love them all. If I purchase an annuity through your company, am I able to link it to Fidelity? The answer is no. Now, what I'm going to tell you, and you're going to sit down because you're not going to believe what I'm getting ready to tell. We represent every single company out there pretty much, okay? So when we quote all carriers, I really mean it. But if you want to stay at Fidelity, have Fidelity quote exactly what we're quoting, apples to apples, and then choose the highest contractual guarantee. Always choose the highest contractual guarantee. And you're saying, wait a minute, Stan, don't you want to sell them or something? I want you to own the best contractual guarantee. Hopefully, and typically, we have the highest. We're offering the highest because we're quoting all carriers. But there might be some under-the-table deal with Fidelity and somebody else that just for a moment in time you can get a better deal. Quote them. Competition is good. All we want to know when you talk with us, you schedule a call. First of all, that consultation is free with my annuity experts. They all talk and sound like me, but they just talk slower. What we want to know is, what are you trying to solve for? There's only two questions we're going to ask you. What do you want the money to contractually do? And when do you want those contractual guarantees to start? Annuities solve for four things: principal protection, income for life, legacy, and long-term care. That acronym is PIL. What we're talking about today is income for life. That's single premium immediate annuities. And you can start that income as soon as 30 days from the policy being issued up to 1 year with single premium immediate annuities. So if you answered the first question, hey, what do you want the money to do? Stan, we would need lifetime income. Okay, when do you want those contractual guarantees to start? We need them to start in 30 days, 3 months, 4 months, up to a year. Then we're only talking about a single premium immediate annuity. Do not allow anyone to put the square peg into the round hole to sell you something with a high commission. Let's talk about commissions real quick. Commissions are built into the policy, which means the carrier's paying it from their reserves, their heat, light, and water bill reserve account. So if you put $100,000, you see $100,000 go to work for you. Okay? Yes, we get paid by the carrier. It's a very small fee. Remember, the more simple the product, the lower the built-in commission. The more complex the product, the higher the commission. That's the reason you hear about high commission products all the time. This is a pro-consumer product. You can explain it to a 9-year-old. No offense to 9-year-olds. Next question. Zeke, where are you, Zeke? How can I max out my mortality credits? That's the question. Good question. Mortality credits in the Stan the Annuity Man easy to understand speak is pooling of risk. That's what mortality credits means. So I'm not sure there's a way to maximize mortality credits other than to shop all carriers for your specific parameters that you're quoting. And again, we're going to need date of birth or dates of birth as if it's joint life. But I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to thread the needle, beat the annuity company, be smarter than the annuity company. I'm going to encourage you not to do that because you can't. You just can't. You can nail Jell-O to a wall easier than you can do that. I know you're thinking, yeah, I can't stand it. Okay, try it. But you can use our quote system to at least look at all of those quote parameters to see what makes sense. Okay? Just understand, the bell doesn't ring at the top or the bottom. You're never going to be able to time it perfectly. When you run the quotes and it looks like the contractual number looks like that's going to fit your income floor, then lock it in. You're just not going to time it. Okay? Next one. Let's see what we got. What are the top? I think he's clicking it. Zeke, you can just choose them randomly. I trust you. You can just put them up there. Zeke's been around. I'm telling you, man. He's from Hawaii, but he's chill. He's chill like a Hawaiian should be. But he's got this long beard. We're not sure what's going on. What are the 5 top-rated A++ preferred companies that sell SPIAs? I typically don't mention carriers on this one, but because I don't want to give them the publicity and they're not paying me to publicize, even though we represent them. Typically, what we see in the AA+ world, or the New York Lifes, the Guardians, Mass Mutuals, etc. Okay, those are the gorillas in the room that are very, very competitive. We love our relationships with them, but we're not. There's no favorites here. Our favorite is the highest contractual guaranteed number, A+, or in your case, A++ or better. So if you see XYZ company over ABC company, we don't care. we if it fits whoever's got the highest contractual guarantee with the rating A+ or better, that's who we're going to tell you to do. Now, one caveat to that, what sets the Annuity Man apart other than a ton of things, me of course, is that we do look and we have an internal scoring system on how those carriers do the paperwork, how quickly they turn it around. I know to the day how long it takes from start to finish to do an annuity transaction. Understand, if you did run a quote and you did want to buy an immediate annuity, we're going to lock that quote in. We're going to lock those contractual guaranteed numbers in, and then we're going to take care of everything, money transfers, whatever you decide to do. If it's within an IRA or Roth IRA or non-qualified non-IRA, we're going to take care of everything from start to finish. You just have to be on an initial call with our policy delivery and applications team. That's all they do. And they're going to take your application, and then all from there, you just have to be on the receiving end of emails, and they will keep you updated. And then at the end of the process, policy is delivered to us. We check it for accuracy, then we FedEx it to you. By the way, there's also typically with most states around a 30-day free look time period as well. So if something changes, you can actually free look and get your money back. The annuity industry gets a bad rap primarily because how most annuities are sold. We pride ourselves as this is where annuities are purchased on your terms and your time frame. So just keep that in mind. Next question, Zeke, click it. Can I offset RMDs by purchasing a SPIA within an IRA? How does that work? Very good question. You can do that. Let's just say you have a $500,000 IRA and you decide to buy. And this covers another question I was getting ready to get to. People say, well, never buy an annuity inside of an IRA, Stan. About 90% of all annuities are purchased with IRA assets because that's where most assets are. It doesn't matter because you're buying the contractual guarantee. It doesn't matter that it's a tax-deferred asset because you're taking income out. But to answer the question, that income stream coming from the immediate annuity inside of the IRA will fully satisfy that RMD for that dollar amount in the immediate annuity, and new for this year, any overage from that's the symbol for overage. Any overage can cover non-annuity assets. That's new, but the answer is yes across the board. Next question, Zeke. How does opening and lifetime annuity within an IRA interfere with RMDs? I think we just answered that. Best not to do this? No. Actually, it makes sense to do this. You want to put your RMDs on a turnkey, buy an immediate annuity only if you need lifetime income, right? But if you need lifetime income, it makes sense because it covers the required minimum distributions, aka RMDs, for that asset, and it also now covers the overage as well. IRS loves it because it's systematic payments. They love it, okay? They bless it. In fact, IRS and the Department of the Treasury came up with QLACs, which is nothing more than an immediate annuity that you can defer longer inside of an IRA. So all that stuff about never buying an annuity inside of an IRA, that's garbage. That's French. By the way, I've done Italian and French, so that's pretty good. That's garbage right there, and that's just people not knowing what they're talking about, and they need to be quiet at the cocktail party because they're going to get embarrassed, right? Okay, here we go. Low income riders are different than COLAs, or is that the same thing? Can they be baked into a SPIA contractual guarantees for annual 2 to 4% increase? Okay, now I know what's trying to be sold to you. What you're referring to is what's called income riders. Yes, I've written a book on that. Yes, you can get quotes on that on my site. But one of the biggest sales pitch at the Bad Chicken Dinner Seminar, expensive steak dinner seminar now, is that my income rider increases with inflation. When the index goes up, that goes up as well. Remember this. Remember the visual. That's important. If anyone's talking about an increase, the annuity company's not giving that away. It's going to take a long time for you to make it up. Regardless of those back-tested, albeit fraudulent. Can I say that, Zeke? I don't think I can say that, so strike that. Those back-tested numbers you said that look too good to be true because they are. Okay, remember with immediate annuities, there are no riders. You can attach a cost of living adjustment. I guess you can call that a rider, cost of living adjustment increase. No fees for that. By the way, immediate annuities have no fees. They're a straight transfer risk product. And once again, remember, the built-in commissions paid from the reserves, it's a net transaction to you. But what you're mixing up here, unfortunately, is someone trying to jam an indexed annuity with an income rider down your throat. Is that a bad thing? Only if they're talking what they're talking now about potential increases in the possible index returns in the income. That's nonsense. You own an annuity for what it will do, not what it might do. You own it for the contractual guarantees, period. Why? Because it's a contract between you and the life insurance company, so base your decision on that. Don't base it on Johnny Appleseed agent pie in the sky nonsense that never comes true. Okay? So remember the question, what do you want the money to contractually do? Income. When do you want those contractual guarantees to start? Immediately within 1 year. That pretty much eliminates index annuities with income riders unless you want to buy your agent a car. Okay? So don't confuse it. And don't look for the product that sounds too good to be true. Don't think that you're beating your neighbor because I'm pretty smart. I think I figured this out. No, listen. If there was such a product that you described that existed, that's all Goldman Sachs would buy. That's all JP Morgan would buy. Last time I checked with my friends there, they're not buying that because it's not contractual. Buy the contractual guarantees. Question: can you please elaborate, Stan the Annuity Man, on your form of SPIA that has life with cash refund? Specifically, how is unused money determined at death of the primary annuitant? IRS rules. I'm not going to give IRS rules because I'm just not going to promote those guys. Or insurance company. Let's just talk about life with cash refund. So it's single life. We'll do single and joint. Single life with cash refund means that as long as you're breathing, it's going to pay. Okay? Now, also remember with immediate annuities, the payment is a combination of return of principal plus interest. Okay? So as you are getting the payments, so let's call this the lump sum. Okay? Those payments are going to decrease that lump sum over time. So if you outlive your life expectancy, there's a good possibility that it's going to happen, Zeke, if they outlive their life expectancy. There's going to be zero in the account. Stan, what happens when there's zero in the account? Well, when there's zero in the account, the annuity company's still on the hook to pay. Why? Because there's no ROI until you die. All right? But let's just say your Learjet hits the mountain early, 5 years into the contract, and it's a cash refund. So it's life with cash refund. Whatever's left from this amount, remember that's lump sum. That's power. That's lump sum. Power, lump sum. Zeke, that's powerful lump sum. Okay. Whatever's left here, that's minus the deductions. That's the cash refund that goes lump sum to the list of beneficiaries of the policy. You could also do what's called installment refund. That's for if you want to lovingly handcuff your beneficiaries, like I do with mine, my 29 and 27-year-old daughters. I don't want them to buy the Ferrari with cash on the way to the funeral. I want them to be making payments. Hello? Do you have that? So what that means is, same thing. Here's power to the people, right? This is installment refund. So you die and there's money left over, then your beneficiaries are going to get that same exact payment until this is exhausted. So they're going to get that same exact payment until there's zero there. That's installment refund. Both cash refund and installment refund means that the evil annuity company's not going to keep a penny, even though they're contractually on the hook to pay for the rest of your life because you've created a personal pension. You've created your own Social Security minus the inflation increase. Okay? Can you compare SPIA with cash balance versus a fixed index annuity? Yes. Let's do this. And long-term care. First of all, let me just cover that. I'm coming out of my seat. DJ, I'm going to be okay. She's over there. Calm down, Stan. She said it in Spanish, though, because we're doing a Spanish division. First of all, anyone that says to you that they have an index annuity with an income rider that has long-term care, they're either stupid or a sociopath, okay? Because there is no long-term care on an index annuity with a rider. Long-term care is a health insurance product. Annuities are life insurance products. So when they're talking about long-term care, I got long-term care on this. No, you don't, Johnny Appleseed agent. That's called a confinement care benefit. I've put it, of course, in the Stan the Annuity Man lexicon. All that means is when you get sicker, you get your money back quicker. No big deal there, player. It's not that big of a deal. But let's talk about immediate annuities versus index annuities with income riders. Income riders are the contractual guaranteed income amount that's on top of an index annuity that has a that has a fee for the life of the policy. I'm not saying they're bad. If you answer the questions, I need lifetime income and I need it to start in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, whatever, then we're going to quote income riders. We're going to completely ignore the index side because we have to, because at this point, it's not worth looking at. Just trust me on that. Anyone out there going, let's look at the caps and the spreads and the participation rates, sir. They're full of crapola. Once again, Zeke, I did the Italian thing there. I mean, they just don't know what they're talking about. And you can get my index annuity owner's manual and say, yeah, it stands right. When we do an index annuity with the income rider, we draw a line down the middle of the page. Here's the index annuity side. We don't look there. Zeke, don't look there, okay? We only look at the income rider. That's the contractual guarantee. So when you're comparing the income rider to the immediate annuity, and you say, Stan, I'm thinking I'm going to start it in a year, 1 year, okay? Okay, great. We'll run the immediate annuity. We'll run the income rider and see who's going to finish first. 99.9% of the time, it'll be in the single premium immediate annuity. Now, the only benefit to possibly looking at an index annuity with an income rider is not market growth. It's not market growth. There is no market growth. God, I'm digressing here, Zeke. My apologies. DJ, my apologies. Index annuities were put on the planet in 1995 to compete with CDs. That's what they do. It's not market upside with no downside. It's not market participation with principal protection. Hello. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. I've got a pill. If you take it, you'll get six-pack abs. Right? I mean, thinking cap. The only positive is you do control the asset with the index annuity with the income rider. If that's important to you, fine. We'll do that. But if you're trying to lock in a pension, not pay any fees, and get an efficient pension payment for the rest of your life, or you and your spouse, whatever, SPIAs are the best product on the planet. And if you say, Stan, I only want to do a double plus paper, then SPIAs are your only choice. Okay? Next. Zeke. Hit me, Zeke. Does the product pay interest? Again, good question. I like the question. Here we go. Immediate annuities. It's a combination of return of principal plus interest. When you see the quote, we're going to segment that out, especially in a non-IRA quote. You'll see it segmented out. If it's an IRA quote, we can segment it out for you. But the principal is going to be returned to you plus the interest rate. You'll see that. I'm not going to quote that interest rate here because this is a timeless evergreen video that'll be seen for hundreds of thousands of times 5 years from now, and I want it to have legs. That's the reason you need to go to our site, run the quote, or speak with our people, etc. But the interest, it's a combination of return of principal plus interest. But let's go a little bit further with that. Let's just say you use non-IRA money. You're getting your principal back plus interest. You're only paying taxes on the interest part of it, not the principal part. Non-IRA, 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 non-IRA. I'm talking about here. IRA, everything's taxable. Non-IRA. So you're only paying taxes on the interest, and then you outlive your life expectancy. You've taken the miracle vitamin that's being sold on cable news, and you've taken that, and you feel great, and the count is now at 0, but you're still getting payments. Instead of just paying taxes on just the interest, now you're paying taxes on everything once it gets to 0. But that's okay, because you're old, you're living a great lifestyle, chapter 2, and you've transferred the risk to the annuity company to pay as long as you are breathing, right? No ROI until you die. But that's how it works. But within our quotes, you'll see that segmented out. And you can talk to our client solutions team when you schedule a free consultation where they're going to use their ears and their mouth in proportion 2 to 1. They're going to listen to you. We're not hammers looking for nails, okay? We're going to listen to you, and we're actually going to tell you if we consider the fact that annuities don't fit, we'll tell you, okay? Next one. Life expectancy versus interest rates at the time of purchase. How do these come into play? Good question. Life expectancy with single premium immediate annuities, shameless plug. The pricing is primarily based on your life expectancy, or if joint, life expectancies at the time you start the payment. The older you are, the higher the payment. Okay? Now, if you're Zeke and you married someone that's 20 years younger than you, and it's joint life, the annuity company is literally going to ignore you and look straight at that younger person and base it off their life expectancy, even though it's joint life. Does that mean you need to split the purchase up? Maybe, but I'm just telling you how it plays. Interest rates play a secondary pricing role. We're saying anywhere 20%-ish pricing role. Remember, the Fed's over here. The banks stare at the Fed. Okay, here we go. The Fed's over here. What do annuity companies do? Glance at them. Why? Because annuity companies are pricing. They got 4 or 5 pricing levers for immediate annuities. They have life expectancy. We know that. They've got interest rates. That's part of it. They've got these tranches I talked to you about that they're trying to fill. So that's competitive for you from the standpoint of quoting all carriers. That's the reason they're commodity products. Then they have their, their bond portfolios, and they make money off their life insurance. Remember, they sell life insurance. So they got 5-ish or more levers to price off of, whereas the bank has the Fed. Annuities, glance at the Fed, because there's so many things in play. That's the from a pricing standpoint, but life expectancy drives the train. Hit me, Zeke. I retired at the end of last year and purchased a SPIA from you. Had a good experience. See, that's it, man. We're not perfect. Can we, Zeke, can we say that? DJ, can we say that? We're not perfect, but we strive to be perfect. And I appreciate that comment. Going forward, is a good strategy to take some of the gains from my IRA, convert it to guaranteed income. So let's talk about this. It is if you need income. It is if you want to set up a pension for your spouse that put up with you for all these years. My lovely wife, should I mention her name, Zeke? I shouldn't mention her name. She's been with me for 37 years. Everything we're setting up is for her. Forget me. She's going to get the life expectancy to go see the grandkids and buy the shoes. By the way, she's got some shoe game is what I'm talking about. But the key is here, do you need lifetime income? It doesn't make sense if you don't. If you don't need lifetime income, you could peel it off to something else. It didn't have to be an annuity. If you said, Stan, I just want a hat. I want a hat, so it's got to be an annuity. Then you could do it like a MIGA, which is the annuity industry's version of a CD. You could peel it off there. But don't buy an immediate annuity if you don't need income. I mean, it's just that simple. So that would be my answer to you. It's worth a conversation with us to make sure that you're making a good decision. Because remember, when you buy an immediate annuity, it's like ripping the knob off a water faucet back in the South. You're out there drinking from the hose out there. Nasty. Can you imagine doing that today? But when you rip the knob off a water faucet, water's coming. When you buy an immediate annuity, income's coming. We can just structure it so that 100% of that money that you put in there will go to somebody in your family, not the annuity company. Hit me, Zeke. For SPIA, can they be deferred by a year or 3? Let's stop there. We're going to take this in segments. DJ, I'm going to take this in segments. DJ is the leader of our Spanish division launching in January. Shameless plug. SPIAs, remember, starts 30 days to a year. Once you go past year deferral, in this case 3 years, it magically becomes a deferred income annuity. Magically. Same product. same. You're saying, why'd they do that? I don't know. Because I'm not the czar of the annuity industry, so we've written a DIA. But that's what it is. So when we go to the 2 questions, what do you want the money to contractually do? When do you want those contractual guarantees to start? If you say, you know what, 3 years. 3 years we're going to start it. We're going to quote, what are we going to quote? Good, you got it right. We're going to quote a DIA, which is a SPIA that you defer. And then we're going to quote income riders. We're going to see which one has the highest contractual guarantee. And then one of my team members are going to talk about the good, the bad, the benefits, and the limitations of each so you can make an informed decision on your terms and your time frame. Hit me, Zeke. Hold on, Zeke. Don't hit me. Still deferred. Let's get the second part of the question. And still earn conservative market rates for growth. No! SPIAs are not market products. They have SPIAs have no market attachments, no moving parts, no annual fees. Hello, I can explain it to a 9-year-old. No offense to 9-year-olds. No annuity. I know I'm getting ready to get hate mail from the industry and agents that don't know any better. Do not buy annuities of any type for market growth. Listen to me. Been doing this for 3 decades. Worked for Morgan Stanley, Dean Witter, Payne Weber, UBS. I know what I speak of. These are not market products. You can't have your cake and eat it too. These are transfer of risk products that solve for 4 things. Principal protection, income for life, legacy, long-term care. There's no G. There's no G for growth. There's no M for market. There's no S for stock market. Pill. That's it. And if you are trying to be, if someone's trying to say you, well, you can get that and you can get market growth too. You can, yeah. And look at these back-tested numbers, player. Come on now. Don't be, as they say in Las Vegas, Zeke, if you don't know who the rube at the table is, it's you. Don't be the rube at the table, okay? Next question. If I die before I use the money, would my beneficiaries receive the balance? The answer is yes. That's called life with cash refund, or life with installment refund. There's also something called life with period certain. A lot of you are familiar with that. Well, Stan, I just want a life with 20-year period certain, son. That's what I want. What does that mean, Stan, in English? It means as long as you are breathing, it's going to pay, but there's a minimum of 20 years of payment. So let's do an example. You live 7 years, you die. Sorry about that. There's 13 more years of payments. You live 15 years and die. Sorry about that. There's 5 more years of payments. You live 21 years and die. No more payments. So we believe, DJ believes, she's over there, yes, she's giving me the annuity power of the people out of there. We believe that life with cash refund and life with installment refund are the most efficient ways to maximize every penny of lifetime income guarantees, transferring the risk, yet knowing that 100% of the money is going to go to your beneficiaries. Your choice is, do you want the lump sum to go to them so they can buy the Lamborghini in full, or do you want them to make payments on the Lamborghini? Cash refund is buy the Lamborghini. Installment refund is payments on the Lamborghini. Either way, they're going to show up to you. As I say, my youngest daughter, she'll probably helicopter into my funeral, cry for just a little bit, and then zip off in her Lamborghini. That's fine. I'll take that little bit of condolences, Zeke. I will. Zeke's got a young daughter, so I'm just preparing him for the future. So, yeah, they will receive the balance. Hit me, Zeke. If I purchased a MIGA, let's talk about that. Shameless plug, Zeke. I mean, I'm on it here. MIGA, owner's manual. Download it for free at theannuityman.com. MIGAs are the annuity industry's version of a CD. Principal protected, no fees, guaranteed interest rate. Sound familiar? Yeah, because it's a CD. If I purchase a MIGA through another company, whoa, hold on, stop, whoa, stop it. What? Purchase through another company? What are you talking about? No. But let's just say you did. Let's just say you didn't know about me. I don't know how that's possible. Let's just say you didn't. And you did. And we'll forgive you. When it matures, can I purchase a SPIA from your firm? Now that's a good way to end the question right there, player. I like that. I've done videos on what's called MIGA to SPIA. It's taking the MIGA, interest, tax deferred. If it's in a non-qualified account, that means non-IRA, tax deferred. And then at the end, 1035 transfer, direct transfer, non-taxable event transfer from the MIGA to the SPIA. And we're going to quote SPIAs for the highest contractual guarantee. But I have actually, I don't have a lot to do, Zeke. So I'm sitting around thinking about video titles. We've done thousands, and we're going to do thousands more as long as I'm breathing. But I've actually done, you can ask our CST, our Client Solutions, CST, look at me, DJ, I'm talking acronyms. Our Client Solutions team here at the Annuity Man, hey, send me that video on MIGA to SPIA. Okay, we'll do that because it explains how that all works, but your instincts are very good, very good. That's how it works, yeah. Go ahead, hit me, Zeke. If I buy an annuity, could I transfer it to another institution? Could I cancel the annuity at any time? If yes, it's difficult. All right, let's start backwards, Zeke. I'm going to start backwards. If yes, is it difficult? Nothing's difficult at the Annuity Man. Why? Good question. Is because I'm fully staffed here for people to take care of all of those administrative issues for you, and you're treated concierge, and we just let you know what's happening. Believe me on that one. So let's go to the second. Could I cancel the annuity anytime? When you're buying an immediate annuity, player, you're ripping the knob off a water faucet. It's irrevocable. Now, you have a free look time period. Typically, with most states, it's 30 days that you can say, don't want to do it anymore, Stan. Send me the money back. We'll do it. We'll do it in a minute. There's no hesitation. We're like, why do you want to do that? Why wouldn't you consider holding on? There won't be any of that. It's your money. We respect that. We're going to do exactly what you tell us to do. But once it's past that 30 days, it's game on. It's annuity game income on. It's going to happen. So if I buy an annuity, could I transfer it to another institution? First of all, let's just say, we won't mention names, Zeke. We're not going to mention names. If they're not sending us money to mention, we're not going to do that. So let's just say by XYZ Company AA+, you buy the single premium immediate annuity. The money is at that firm. It's not, money never touches our hands. We're the facilitator. We're the point guard. We make sure the transaction goes smoothly. whether it's an IRA to IRA, Roth IRA to Roth IRA, non-qualified to non-qualified, meaning non-IRA to non-IRA. We do all of that. Never touches our hands. It's not here. It's at the annuity company. So the answer to your question in a logistical manner, and very nicely, is no. So let's just say it's at New York Life, Mass Mutual, Guardian, whoever, and you want to move it from New York Life to Guardian. No, it's contractual, it's irrevocable, and it's okay. Just know that going in, you're not owning an ETF or a mutual fund, okay? You are owning a pension, and you're locking it in. Hit me, Zeke. If you don't need the income now, is it better to delay personal SPIA until you do? The answer is a pound the table. I'm not going to do that because Zeke got mad at me last time I did that because it messed up the microphone. The answer is yes. If you don't need the income, don't buy it. Keep your powder dry. You could do a MIGA to SPIA. You could do CD to SPIA. You could do bond to SPIA. You could do stock to SPIA, ETF to SPIA, mutual fund to SPIA. If you don't need the income, don't buy it. Remember, income from single premium immediate annuities is priced primarily on your life expectancy at the time you take the payment. The ODR, the higher the payment. So if you're deferring it, yeah. So if you don't need the income now, that's where you're headed. The question is, what's the strategy gap in between? That's your call because it's your money. You could do a MIGA to SPIA, but you don't have to. But I would hold. And you're saying, wait a minute, Stan. You sell annuities. You're the top agent in the country, and you're trying not to sell us annuity. No, I'm telling you the truth. My grandfather told me a long time ago, if you just tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. Very smart man, worked in the mill, worked on a farm, smartest man I've known. But that's what he told me, and that's what I do. So in this case, no, wait, keep your powder dry. Hit me, Zeke. What about the Zeke, what about the 9.5% roll-ups or index DAV? If I was annuities are for a day, this would be a beautiful world. DJ and I we're so excited to do the Spanish division because, we're going to do what we over there, what we do here, which is tell the truth. If you believe there's a 9.5% yield out there, I have a bridge to sell you. Remember, drawing down the middle of the page, variable or index annuity over here, we don't care because it doesn't matter. Income rider over here. During the deferral years, there could be a high percentage growth rate until you turn on the income stream. But understand, remember, this is your real money. Index annuity, variable annuity, that's your real money. Over here, the income rider money, phantom account, monopoly money, shiny thing. It's okay if you understand that that's for income and you answered the two questions, I need income and I need it later, that's okay. But you can't peel off the 9.5%. You can't cash that in, player. Okay? It's not, don't even look, and that's where the games are played. And the additional game that's played is, I'm going to give you a 25% upfront bonus. I'm going to give you a bonus. Please don't be that dumb, please. Okay? There's no philanthropists at annuity companies that are waking up in the morning going, you know what, I'm just going to give money away because I just like people. They don't exist. They're capitalist. Okay, it's not, there's 100 pennies in the dollar. What we have found when we quote all carriers, and yes, we quote, if your quote is an income rider quote, we quote all carriers, we quote all bonus products, we quote all high income rider percentages. You know what we find? Good question. We find that the ones that don't have all those shiny things are the highest contractual guarantee. Remember, 100 pennies in the dollar. If it sounds too good, I'm sure it is. I'm worn out after 3 decades of people going, I just bought a 9.5% annuity. No, you didn't, player. You bought an income rider, which is a monopoly money phantom account, which is okay, but know that it's not yield. Yield is on a CD, you can peel it off. Yield is on a MIGA, you can peel it off. Yield is on a bond, you can peel it off. Income riders, that's not yield. You can't get to it unless you turn on the lifetime income stream, but it's not fungible. Look it up. At all. And don't be swayed by big number bonuses and big number income rider percentages. It's what I call shiny things. It's shiny things. It's nothing more than that. Run the quotes for the contractual guarantees, not the hypothetical, theoretical, projected, unicorns chasing the butterfly nonsense out there. Okay? Zeke, we're rolling. Hit me. If you purchase a SPIA with Roth funds, is it income tax tax-free? The answer is yes. You've already paid our beloved government and been a good patriot and paid the money up front. So yes, it is going to be tax-free until Zeke, I got to throw a wrench in this one, okay? Until the politician stands up and says, you know what? All those people, all those evil rich people with Roth IRAs, this is not fair to the rest of the people. Now, they're forgetting that you've paid all these upfront taxes. I'm just hoping that doesn't happen and that person doesn't show up. But I digress. DJ. I digress. The answer is yes, it's tax-free. I'm not a big fan of Ross. I'm not going to put you down because you have one, because you trust the government more than I do. That's all that says. All you're telling me is, Stan, you're some tinfoil hat, well, in this case, red hat conspiracy theorist. No, I just don't trust the government. I don't like paying them taxes when I don't have to. That's all. But I'm all for it if you've run the numbers and it makes sense for you. Cheers. Next. What about products with enhanced income withdrawals during chronic illness? How do they work? We're digressing a shade from the immediate annuity situation here, Zeke. So we're talking about income riders, how do withdrawals work. If you can't, I'm not going to spend a lot of time here, but if you can't do 2 out of the 6 daily functions of life, feed yourself, clothe yourself, bathe yourself. First of all, this is a Stan comment. If you can't do that, life stinks. Can we get an amen on that one? But when that happens, they just, when they determine you can't do that, obviously doctor has to do that, then they're going to increase the payment. Once again, I have a saying for that. If you get sicker, you get your money back quicker. That's all it is. And typically, when you live 2 to 6, when you qualified, that's a hard way to put it, qualify. When you can't do 2 out of the 6 daily functions of life, I got to check with my long-term care specialist that I use. We don't do long-term care. We farm it to the best guy in the country. But he would probably say you're going to live 5 years. Ironically, just out of thin air, those enhanced benefits typically are 5 years. In other words, they increase those benefits for 5 years. Annuity companies know when you're going to die. They really do. We're going to keep going. How many? Do we have a lot of questions, Zeke? What do you think? Tons? Okay, so let's do a couple more, then we'll do a quote. Hang in there with me. Do not go anywhere. Stay there. If SPIAs give you a monthly income based on certain is my funding amount still available after I die? Okay, first of all, let's take it a step at a time. If SPIAs give you a monthly income based on certain interest rate, SPIAs are primarily priced on your life expectancy, if it's single life expectancies, if it's joint life, interest rates play a secondary role. Okay, that's the first thing we need to talk about. Is my funding amount still available? Let's look at a life with cash refund. If you set it up like that, remember this is the lump sum that you put in. These are the payments which are deducted from the lump sum as long as you're breathing. Once you die, that amount minus the payments goes in lump sum to your beneficiaries. The answer to your question is yes, they get that lump sum, but minus the payments. Anyone that tells you that they have a product that you can get income from and at the end you're going to have all your money intact are full of shitola. What's that? I should have said shiatatola. Sorry about that. All right, here we go. Hey, it's live. You know, you wanted it live, you got it live, right? This is what we do. This is how we roll. All right, here we go, Zeke. If I have, and one more after this, I'm going to do a quote. So hang in there, don't move. If I have a basis in my IRA from the non-deductible contributions, is it part of that basis transferred to the SPIA? The answer is yes, but any type of really detailed, and I'm going to use the word funky, is F-U-N-K-Y, funky, things like that, that's tax-driven, we're going to get your CPA involved, have them bless it. That's blessing it. We're going to have them bless it and work with them on that, but the answer to you is yes. A couple things before we get to the quote. My email, and I know this is scary, Zeke, to give my email up, but I'm going to because I only get 400 to 500 a day. But I do check them and I do respond. Stan@theannuityman.com. So Stan at theannuityman.com, and if you didn't get a question answer, I'll answer it in time. when my wife allows me to work after hours. So, of 37 years. Let's do a quote real quick. If you're at my site, I'm going to walk it through. You're saying, Stan, why wouldn't you have this on the screen? It's because we just moved into a new office and we're not ready for that yet, but we will be. So, if you go to my site and you go to, at the top, you see calculators. I made it real simple. Calculators, and you see SPIA, single premium immediate annuity, hit that. And what you're going to see is a screen pop up, and it's going to give you source of funds. It's either going to give you a choice, IRA, Roth IRA, non-IRA. Choose whatever. I'm going to choose IRA. Choose your calculation. It's going to say, I don't know, I know the dollar amount I want to put in, so let's just say you want to do $200,000, but you can also reverse engineer it and say, I know how much monthly income I want. Do you notice how I make it that simple? So let's just do a lump sum. You're going to put in, this isn't me being assumptive. Oh, let's do 100,000 because I'm gonna tell you why after that. So we're gonna do, we know the dollar amount we're gonna put in, and then we're gonna choose your dollar amount. We're gonna put that in, and then I want it to start in 1 month. I need the income. I need it now. Next step. So we hit next step button. You put your information in there, name. Please put a valid email address. Understand, we have no proactive marketing of calling people. If you want to talk to us, you have to schedule a call. Then we'll call you right on the dot. Put in your gender, put in your date of birth, put in your state of residence. Some reason, Zeke, that had just diverted to New Jersey. I don't know why. So single life, we're doing single life. If you hit the joint button down there, then you could fill in your spouse's life, and then hit get a quote. You're saying, Stan, there's no way it's that easy. Look at me. Of course it is. That's the way I design things. So what you're going to see pop up, and it's going to be emailed to the valid email address that you put in there. So don't put in like joe@schmo.com because you're not going to get the quote. We're going to email you a quote. It's going to happen automatically because Zeke can do that. And so you're going to see all of the quotes. You're going to see single life only, single life with cash refund, single life with 5 years certain. If you scroll to the right, scroll button to the right, you're going to see all kinds. You're going to see life with years 10 years certain, life with 20 years certain, life with 10 years certain. Why do I do that? That's a really good question. It's because I want you to see how the carriers price it. The more guarantees you put on the back end, the lower the payment. What? Yeah, it's that's the correlation, okay? So run those quotes to your heart's content. We do have a book a call number, and we have a buy now. Buy now doesn't mean that you're not going to talk to somebody, but by the law right now, you have to talk to a licensed agent. Every single person in my office they're licensed, but they're not on commission. How about that? There's no incentive. Their incentive is to get it right and to listen, and we applaud them just for doing the right thing. That might mean telling you no, but that's who you're going to get. We're the only people out there that do it like that. Okay. So yes, we do get paid a commission. It goes to the house account in essence. It's built in, as I told you, but nobody here is on commission. They have no incentive to run the numbers up, okay? But this is what we have. We're the only ones out there that show you all of this. We're proud of that. So if you want to book a call, you can. If you run a quote and you say, I want to buy it, you hit buy now, and you skip that consultation process, and again, you're going to get a licensed person on the phone. All of our offices in Las Vegas, Nevada. I know I don't drink, I don't smoke. I've been married 37 years. But I love Vegas. It's a great place to be. And I think it's ironic that we're here. We do nothing but contractual guarantees and no risk. And we're surrounded by risk, Zeke. I don't know what the heck's going on with that. But is there one more question? We'll close it out with one more. But I wanted to run a quote. Please run the quotes. Don't run them to your heart's content. Look at the numbers. And if you want to engage with us, fine. If you want to shoot me an email, Stan@theannuityman, that's fine. So, last question, Zeke. Let me see. Laddering. You have to put it up there. I just see it underneath. Someone's asking about laddering SPIAs. Yes, you can ladder SPIAs. Let's talk about that. Why would you want to? Let's say you want income to start in 30 days from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. You can buy 3 SPIAs and then have different start dates. Okay, you can also wait and say buy 1 this year, 1 next year, 1 the following year. That's another way to ladder it. But yeah, it's customizable. Just think of annuities. You need to tell us what you want them to do. We'll tell you if it can't happen, But typically, contractually, we can customize it so that you can get exactly what you want contractually. Remember, you own an annuity for what it will do, not what it might do. One last thing, and then we'll go. We are open 12 hours a day. And we're open 8 hours on Saturday. You understand, what in the world are you talking about? Yes, East Coast, 8:30 to 8:30 at night. West Coast, obviously, 5:30 to 5:30. But the reason we're open for that amount of time every day is we want to make sure, being licensed in all 50 states, that we can get to you. You don't have to work around your schedule. You can work us into yours. You know what I'm saying? Did I say that right, Zeke? I think I did. But you know what I mean. That's the reason we're open. And then Saturdays, we have people here as well. We would have Sundays, but my wife would leave me, and that's not what I want. That would not be good. So this has been fun. We're going to do a live event every single month. Check your email. If you have any questions, let us know. My name is Stan, the Annuity Man. I am America's annuity agent. I am the top agent out here. I am the gorilla in the room in the YouTube annuity space. And we're here for you. Have a good one.